Morning YouTubers, welcome to another one of my videos or diary, and this is one of my jobs I've got to do this morning, and it's to do with golf balls. The modern golf balls, once you cut them in half like this and take the skin off, you can use them for carving or practice carving. And where we live, we're not far from the fields, and people play golf and lose the golf balls, and I find them occasionally. And the first thing you've got to do is to cut the skin off. Not completely, just cut it in half. Not the whole ball, just the skin. And the modern golf balls are like a solid, soft rubber plastic material inside, where the old-fashioned golf balls were like strings of rubber bound up in like a ball. Now the best way I found to mark them so you get a good centre is the top of these deodorant bottles cap, and if you get the golf ball and you press it in, I need to press it down a little bit like that, and then you get a pen and you can mark it round like that. And the next stage is to put it in the vise and cut through the outer with a hacksaw with a sharp blade, and then you can strip back, and I'll show you what it's like on the inside. And but the old-fashioned golf balls, the old ones, you can't do this because it totally disintegrates, but I'm hoping this is a modern one and I can cut it open. Now everywhere is wet at the moment. We've had thick fog first thing in the morning, so we haven't been out for our exercise, and it's coming up to 11 o'clock, and it's 11th of the 11th month, so we all know what happens at 11 o'clock. 2-minute silence. But it's been thick fog and we haven't been out for any exercise walk yet. So this is just another day in the life of during lockdown, and I've got to set the lathe up so I can make a bowl as well, but I have to do my woodwork in the garden on a dry day because simple reason the dust blows everywhere and it just ruins the shed. You know, it makes such a mess, and you don't want to be really breathing in the dust. I've now moved into the shed and going to cut the golf ball, and I've got my old-fashioned 12-inch, I think it's a 12-inch hacksaw. My other hacksaw sitting there as blunt as anything, and what I need to do is to put this golf ball into the vise and hold it tight, and then gradually cut round. And I don't know whether how easy it is for me to show you me doing that. It takes a bit of patience to do this, and then when you can see you're getting through, you can see the colours coming through underneath, like that. You can't know where it's coming out. I don't know if you can see that. And then you turn it in the vise and work you all the way around, following the line as neat as possible. Now when you've gone all the way around with your hacksaw blade, get a screwdriver, make sure it's tight in the vise, poke your screwdriver under and work it gradually all the way around under like the skin of the golf ball. And you can see the gaps. You don't want to tear this bit, and then turn it in the vise and carry all the way around. Now Carry on with your screwdriver under, and then you should be able to prise it off like that. Dropped on the floor. And if it's a modern golf ball, you will get a solid piece of rubber or plastic, a varying colour. It can be red, green, blue, anything really. Let's just take the other vise. There we go. So there you have, just wiped on a rag. So it's just a matter of now drilling a hole in the middle of there, putting a screw through, so you've got something to hold when you're carving. And it's a soft rubber material. I won't cut it because that's for Jane. And just going to clean this up, and that'll be ready for her. And there we have it. Just put one screw in it, and it could be painted into whatever it needs to be. Another job for the day is setting up a piece of wood for the lathe. Now this is a bowl or dish, or whatever you like to call it, I made, and Jane wants another shallow one like this making. And I've got a piece of wood. It's not the same wood. I've got this piece of wood here, which is a little bit small for making this bowl from. So the next one was going to be a slightly smaller diameter. But the thing I've got to do is, with anything like this, you've got to find the centre line. Now I've bought this piece of kit, piece of plastic, and you just lay it on like that, and then if I can show you, you draw a pencil line like that. You turn it around the wood like that. Draw another pencil line. And you keep doing it, and then you get loads of lines, and then you choose an average. Right, now based on this measuring tool, that there is the centre of this wood. Because you get lumps and bumps on the outside, you take lots of little lines, and then where the majority of them meet is the centre line. This one, this side of it, it's the centre line. So the next part is to mount the centre plate, which is simply aligning it in the middle and putting the 4 screws on. Now, because I don't want the screws to protrude too far into the bowl, what I do, I put some nuts on the screws to stop them from going too deep into the wood, because you don't want them to come through on the inside of the bowl. Yes, I am working in the kitchen, and my slippers are sticking to the floor, so excuse the squeak, squeak, squeak. Okay, the next step is to get this piece of wood mounted on there. Hold the camera and see if I can get it on. It threads on like that, and then there's a spanner and a bar to tighten it. I need a spanner, and what I'll do is I'll put the metal, that one in there, that one in there, and pull that lever to tight, and that tightens it. And then I can spin it up on the lathe just to see how balanced it is. I can do that in the kitchen. Spin it by hand, like that, and then I can lower speed and switch it on. It's not shaking too badly, so that's okay. And then I'll bring this up, put it close to the edge, and then I turn it by hand and see how true it is. Also, I check the gap there. You can see it's off a little bit. I can spin that up as well. And that's setting up the wood. I think this has got a little bit of a twist on it. The only other thing I do sometimes is I'll bring this down and put that in the centre as an extra support, you know, when I'm starting off. So I'll tighten that up, and I'll just bring this spike so it sticks in the middle, and it just gives it more support when you're first starting off if it's out of balance. So as well as the base plate there, it's got this going in the front. Just out for a walk. What's this called? Corby Triangle. Athlete. That's Corby Triangle over there. So what have we got? We've got the athletics track, the rugby pitch, the football ground, tennis courts, and it's all in this area. Yeah, it's still a misty, isn't it? Yeah. Just through that fence is the athletics track. Oh, so it's put a camera mount there. Must have been filming themselves or something. That's the athletics track. You get a lot of schools there, don't you? Do their running. Oh, it's noisy today. That's the main rock. To Rockingham Castle. Is it the A6003?
Yeah.
Football training field. Empty. Barriers to stop motorcycles. Can you see anything of the athletics tracks through the fence? Corby Athletics. No. No. And there's the indoor tennis courts.
Nobody on the car park.
Nobody on the car park, no.
It's quite busy, isn't it?
Yeah. That building over there is the rugby club. And round the corner is the football. Little stage here. Welcome to Corby Town Football Club. I'm not into football.
Steel.
That's the name of the bar. Used to have car boots there. The James Atworth VC Memorial Stand. Look how busy the car parks are. Look.
No, isn't it good?
Gosh, loads.
That's very unusual, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's somebody parked the car to walk the dog out.
Yeah, there's normally somebody. It's deserted. Indoor tennis, and then there's outdoor tennis, and then building the end of the road down there is where the hotel is, and then you've also got the cemetery, which is just a bit further down this corner of Corby, and then just over there behind those trees, that's Rockingham Castle. Height barrier to stop motorhomes, caravans and travellers. Yeah, I think we can get through. A bit muddy. Yeah, that's alright. And this is the hotel, the back of the hotel through there. This is like a substation, power substation going past. That's it. Tennis courts are there. And where the hotel finishes is the cemetery. Just heard a woodpecker. And this is where the cemetery is, behind this hedge. And that way is all the housing estates, and which we have to find a way through the maze to get home. And it is a maze. It's quite a big area, this, and just looking at the sun's trying to come through the clouds. Jane, you got a different hat on than yesterday. You got your leprechaun hat on today. You can see through there. I didn't realise how big it is. You know, it's massive when you start looking. Mind you, with the amount of cases. It's locked. It's a keypad, I wonder. Yeah. It's a nice gate.
This isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if the chap at the park used to be a blacksmith at the park.
Oh, he's given up.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if he did that when he
Yeah,
was
might
working
have done.
for the
Yeah. This is quite a big area. I didn't realise how big it was. I'm getting hungry. Must be getting. What are we having?
meat.
Meat slices,
Steak
steak slices,
sauce,
and vegetables. Whatever we've got in the fridge.